hey, I'm gonna try to do a really quick blog, and I got into a little discussion on somebody commented on my the blasphemy challenge thing, and it was a long time ago, and I just wanted to say a couple of quick things about it, and just some topics that people. And I understand. I'm not trying to prove to you any of this. I'm not trying to persuade you. I just, people say these things and they think that they're saying something that Christians haven't heard, or that it's just so irrefutable rebuttal and stuff like that. But really, a lot of it comes from them not being Christian and not reading the Bible and not having an understanding or not having some kind of insight towards these things. A lot of people, and this is amazing to me, is like they say the existence of evil. These atheists are saying, or these people that don't believe in God, which is fine for you if that's what you choose, because everybody has choice. But they say that, well, God could not exist because evil exists, and that if you believe in the Bible, these things, somehow disprove God. Okay. What I want to say about that is that, our Christians to Christians, evil is not the ultimate end. In the movies and in like The Heretic or The Exorcist, evil is the ultimate power in Hollywood, on TV. Evil is like that to God, okay? And the rest of the world is God. If you recall, in the garden, evil is nothing more, and good, for that matter of fact, is nothing more than two trees in a garden. Out of, let's say, a whole forest, there was one tree for evil, and that was the one tree. He said, hey, don't touch that particular tree. So, that's what it is. That's what it says in the Bible. Maybe my interpretation of that might be different than what other people, but from what it says in the Bible and what I read, it said the knowledge of good and evil. And it also said the knowledge of good and evil as being in this one particular tree. Okay? It didn't say God does evil. He's told us not to eat from that tree. So basically, he's saying, you know what? I put that tree of good and evil there. Good and evil. The knowledge of it. He says, I have mastered it, put it in the tree. There it is. And I'm giving you jurisdiction over it. But listen to what I say, not what good and evil is all about. Don't even bother with it. So whatever God's plan was for us had nothing to do with good and evil, as far as I'm concerned. And anyway, it was only the knowledge of it. Meaning, I know about it, but I don't do it. I know about crack, but I don't do it. Does that make me evil because I know about it? Then the person, no, it doesn't. But it also says, and so what I found really interesting in this one she's a beautiful girl, one young lady's thing, her rebuttal of God being all present, omnipotent, all knowing, and yet, there's suffering. He couldn't be those things because we don't want to suffer. Couldn't he have made a different plan? Now, this is so simple to me that it's just so amazing. Like this is why, I think that suffering is such a good plan because people don't want to do it. People will do anything not to be uncomfortable. Anything that has to do with uncomfort is what people don't want to do. So if it's $1 million on the other side, which is good for you, and you're poor, there's a bit, but you won't do it because it's uncomfortable to get to the other side of the forest. So I think the suffering and stuff like that. If you want to change somebody's mind about something, they usually, let's say a child, and that's what God sees us as, a child. And we definitely don't like to suffer. If we do something wrong, we don't have the wisdom and the understanding as a child not to play with fire or not to play with, not to drink bad chemicals or whatever that could hurt us. And we say, don't do it. And the child wants to do it anyway. You spank the child because they don't understand, chemicals can get into your system and cause you all kinds of problems. What they understand is a spanking on the butt. Okay? That's why you don't reason with a child that doesn't have a mentally developed mind. That's why you need to spank your children. And that's why the government has told you not to spank your children. And now these children is growing up with guns and having what do they call them things? When a bunch of kids shoot up a whole school. What do they call it? I forgot the name of it. Sorry. Or when, these kids that have no respect for authority, you instill those kind of things so that they don't wind up in jail. But, jail is actually a good private institution for the government. So anyway. So I think it's perfect that the plan of suffering is a part of getting a consequence. Now, what kills me about it is people that say they don't want to suffer will go out and drink anything because it's good, and if it's alcohol, will drink until their head is about to roll off, and then they have to suffer the next day, and they're like, oh, I don't ever want to do this again, but they'll go ahead and suffer for that. That's okay. Anyway, I just find a lot of the things, I think that, I don't mean to joke or belittle, and I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to explain is that our view of God is above these things. God, even though it says in the Bible, there is nothing that God did not create. But there's a difference between having knowledge of something and actually doing evil. And there's a difference between, and my question, the thought that I presented to you is that, a serial killer that goes around and kill 50 women. Now, killing is evil, okay? This guy goes off and kills 50 women. But then we bring this person to justice and kill him for, because he's a complete menace to society and will just completely do it again. So we just killed him. Is that evil? We go to war and fight people over their land and their oil and stuff like that. But yet, and killing is evil. Yet, do we justify that, Now, with all the evil in the world, God has so mastered these things that he does forgive us for our evil. So to me, it seems like God really knows what he's doing when it comes to evil. It says in the Bible, he is good and evil and all that stuff exists, but he does not do evil. We did evil when we, he told us not to eat the thing, and we did it. So I think our vision of God is finite, and our understanding, we are like a child. We don't understand it, and we don't know how to do the right thing, so we get the consequences of our actions, which is suffering. That's something we brought on ourselves. If we had just obeyed God, it would have never been a reason for us to evil, for us to have to deal with evil. It says evil came into the world through sin. Okay, all right. He made us good. Okay, but he also gave us free will. And then those same people say that, hey, we need why didn't God just make us automatons, or not just give us any free will, and not to do anything that has to do with growth or anything like that, or no choice. I don't understand that, yet they claim that choice is everything that they want. I'm not, again, I'm just presenting these ideas to you to think about. You don't have to believe them or not, but if you do, that's still a choice.